Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15th to October 15th, and companies seem to be getting it all wrong. Coca-Cola made a short film to highlight some Hispanic families with pride sharing their last names. The ad features a bright red Coca-Cola truck. They're in the neighborhood handing out Cokes that are displaying the Hispanic last name. Well, the soda also comes with a free tattoo that's supposed to go anywhere. Well, the Latino community is saying that neck tattoos were associated with gang members years ago. And Coca-Cola, didn't separate the two of them. And it's come to what's called Hispandering, which is a new word that I learned today, like pandering to the Hispanic community and sort of summing them up with just their last names and neck tattoos. So the Hispanic community, is not a fan necessarily of the way Coca-Cola is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And they're not alone. We're talking about a bunch of other companies. DC features a cover of one of its comic books featuring Latin foods, featuring the heroes eating Latin foods like tacos, flan, tamales, plantanos fritos. And Hispanic people are saying, you know what? We are not just our food, and we are tired of the whole thing. Even Coffee Mate. I drink Coffee Mate in my coffee every day. But they were accused. Let's see. They said something about enjoy your, your steamy... let's see, hold on. Some of these, let's see, it's enjoy our steamy or our sexy new flavors, something like that. And it was about new flavored Coffee Mate. Coffee Mate's push to promote steamy new Latin flavors. That's what it was. And many Hispanic groups are saying this is all what they're calling Hispandering. And because of this, or because they don't have enough Hispanics in their companies or as being decision makers, they're not handling Hispanic Heritage Month in the right way. This is all fascinating to me, and another good way to highlight Hispanic Heritage Month, of course. So we asked Dr. Marie Cosgrove to join us. She is an entrepreneur, an author, and a speaker, and she is joining us today on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline to discuss these company faux pas and Hispanic Heritage Month. So Dr. Cosgrove, sorry for the long intro, but I wanted to explain all that. Welcome to the show.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
When you see an ad like that, does it immediately strike you as odd, or do you say, oh, well, they were trying, or does it not bother you? Do you think, oh, well, great, they're doing their best to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month? What's your reaction?
Well, personally, it doesn't affect me, but I just think it's silly because there's a lot, as a Latina entrepreneur myself, there's a lot more to Hispanics than tortillas, tacos, and tamales. And I just think it's so silly how they try to pigeonhole us into, this is who we are. I remember even a politician saying, we need the Latino community because we need daycare workers and we need people to mow our lawns. I'm like, we're more than that. We're in healthcare. We're business owners. We're in education. We do a lot more than clean houses, clean toilets, and not that there's anything wrong with that. Work is work, and it should be respected no matter what you do for a living. But I think that they miss the mark, and they don't realize that they're actually not. They're not placing this as Americans because we are Americans. We love this country, and there's a lot more to us than just that.
That is actually shocking. And when you said that, what that politician said, David and my jaws both dropped because that is so offensive. And I'm so sorry that came out of the mouth of a politician. That is awful. But let's talk about how to solve this, because some white privilege, I'm assuming the politician was white. Am I wrong?
Yes, she was white.
She was white. Okay. Some white privileged politician says this. It's because they're ignorant of how to, also possibly racist. So I'm not defending that in any way, shape, or form. Please don't mistake what I'm saying. What I'm asking is, how do we do this right? Now that we know how we're doing it wrong, how do we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month right? Because I think most people want to do better. What are some recommendations?
Well, I think what they need to do is look at Hispanic Americans as Americans, because that is what we are, and that is what America is. And we're a mix of different cultures, and just like Russians, Europeans, Filipinos, or anybody else who comes into this country, we want to contribute. And so I think it's there was a company who did something right, and they did an ad where they put all the flag with all the different countries, and then it melted into the American flag. And I think that was done well. So, just recognizing that we're a part of America, we're part of the melting pot as well, and we're contributors to this country is a way to do it right, instead of just trying to place us as, they're sexy, like Sofia Viagra, or like, or they like, they're foodies, tamales and tacos, because some Hispanics really don't even weren't raised with that type of food because we've been in this country for so long, so many generations. Yes, we are Hispanics because that's our culture, but we're so Americanized. So not all, just because you're Latina doesn't mean that you like tamales or you're sexy, So just to pigeonhole, you're kind of trying to say this is what the image of a Hispanic is, and that's not necessarily correct.
Now, it's important, I think, for our listeners to note that Hispanic and Latino people make up approximately 19% of the U.S. population. 19% of the U.S. population. That is, I think, I was surprised at that number. And they have an estimated $1.9 trillion in buying power. 1.9. So I can see why companies would want to reach out, of course, to the Hispanic and Latino population. I get that. They're just not necessarily doing it right. Is it because they don't have enough people in leadership roles?
That could be the case, or they're not reaching out to the right people to provide appropriate guidance. So that could be the reason. I would say that they should probably reach out to some Hispanic community leaders and to get some input before putting out their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there are some, of course, there are at least I'm reading here in the Fortune 500 companies, there are at least 16, Hispanic CEOs on the top of the S&P 500 companies. So I believe that we are making progress with having minority leadership, but I know that these problems come about when even in the CEOs are not in marketing meetings. I'm even talking about at different levels in companies, giving people a chance and having a seat at the table, I think is so important. I think if somebody was sitting at the table at Coke and they said, we're going to include these tattoos, maybe they would have said, you know what? Neck tattoos is an association with gangs, and we're really, as a community, not that he could speak for he or she will speak for the whole community, but trying to get away from that. I think that would have solved the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think that would have definitely solved the problem, and that would have avoided a lot of, because the Hispanic community, you see that and you think, geez, that's horrible. That's terrible marketing, and that's Hispandering. And we look at it as just, lazy, I guess, and not even thought through. Like, nobody thought this through. They just try to, pigeonhole us in one way. And I think that's lazy, I guess. That's the best way to say it, because they didn't really put in the work that needed to be put in to put out a good marketing ad to reach out to the community.
I'm speaking with Dr. Marie Cosgrove, author, speaker, entrepreneur on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Before we let you go, Dr. Cosgrove, share with us maybe some good suggestions of how to get involved with Hispanic Heritage Month, how to know more, maybe some resources or some things that are happening that we can appreciate, that are done well.
Well, I think the best thing is, reach out to Hispanic community leaders and reach out to CEOs like myself. I'm always available. You can reach out to me at Resilient Expert or mariecosgrove.com. But reach out to myself or anybody else, and we're so open. The Hispanic people are very open. They're very friendly, and they love to provide feedback. And so just reach out, and we'll be right there with you.
Dr. Marie Cosgrove, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being honest with us and teaching us. The Hispandering was a new word for me, so I appreciate you helping us figure that all out. Have a great day and a great Hispanic Heritage Month.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.